Um, Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining another talk coming from EAWANET Community, building and going over different organizations that working with us over the years. My name is Eldad Barber, coming from Triple Profit based in Israel. I've been collaborating with EAWANET for the last couple of months, and together we run those set of interviews covering different organizations working in Eastern Africa together in this great net called EAWANET. And today we have the privilege of meeting Bishop Enoch, one of the former and first chairpersons of the organizations. And of course, Stella as the head of the programs in the organization. Maybe Stella, you introduce yourself and then we get to know Bishop Enoch a bit.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this moment, for hosting us. And then thank you too for Bishop for creating your time to be with us here, to share your experience with us. My name is Kiteng Stella, and I'm EAWANET coordinator. EAWANET is Eastern Africa Workers Association Network, and EAWANET works to foster regional integration with the perspective of contributing towards mutual cooperation and then solidarity and then peace building in the region. And we work with different different general publics in different regions, in addition to the Eastern Africa region. We've been having a series that gives an in-depth description of EAWANET. So at this point, I would like to before I hand over back to Eldad, to mention that historically EAWANET has so far had four chairpersons, and the first chairperson is Mr. Stuart Semakula from Uganda. He's not here today, but will be hosting a session. And then the second chairperson who followed Mr. Stuart Semakula from Uganda is Bishop Enoch Okonji that we're honored to host today. And then the Bishop Enoch Okonji is from Kenya. And then the third chairperson was from Tanzania. He should have joined us, but there's an internet a challenge currently being experienced in Tanzania. That's why he's not able to come here. So we are honored to have you, Bishop Enoch Okonji. And we look forward to the best of deliberations. Back to you, Eldad. Thank you.
Thank you, Stella, very much. So it's a great honor for us to interview one of the first chairpersons, especially after we covered so many organizations, and now we can kind of sum it up by realizing how it all started and what was the main stepping points in the building of this great net. So Bishop Enoch, please, would you introduce yourself?
I'm Enoch Okonji from Kenya. I come from a member organization that forms EAWA. I was a second chairman. I was a member first, then I became a chairman. And a few months ago, a few members were interested in restarting EAWANET again. And I was one of those few people who encouraged the members to get it restarted, gave my views, gave my direction, gave my encouragement. And I'm happy that people have come on board over time. And I see that they are willing to get it restarted so that we can again move together and work together and think together and re-envision this organization again so that it can serve the greater region and can also mold more younger leaders for tomorrow as we exist or as we have already exited and come back again to re-energize. We think this is an important organization that should exist which can give focus to young people as they participate in development of their communities and their nations in all spheres of life. What I know is this: when people get together, they can do greater things. And like when we move as individuals, because we can share our experiences, we can share our resources, our ideas. And this is one way that I think we can rebuild this organization. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting because we were just talking about it before we started the conversation, Stella and I, how, especially in those times during the COVID-19 crisis, when many organizations and initiatives are on hold, EAWANET find this way to make those conversations and get to know the community better and creating the bonds and the connections between them. So I'm strengthening your words. And I agree very much that there's so much to do and great things can come out of it, even when it's sometimes very challenging. I would like to ask you, maybe you can tell us what has been done and realized and achieved as a network over the years.
I came in between when already a lot of work had been done. And I came through, I think the then chairman had seen that we're involved in community work via the World Council of Churches. Then he wrote to me and invited me. Then I came and joined in. So every organization were having their own programs. And at that time, what I liked most was human development and skills development, because most of the organizations do not have the manpower, do not have the resources that they will develop their own human resource. So EAWANET was very central in helping our members to get skills, to be empowered so that they can serve their communities, they can interpret the needs of their communities and find ways that they can serve them better. So trainings were very key. When I came in, lots of training were done, lots of exchange programs were done. We would visit one country and see what they are doing. So we are able to learn a lot of things from being on site of what they are doing. So from each organization's programs, we are able to learn a lot of things, and this includes skills, management, and many other things. So EAWANET is important because people are able to share their knowledge, to share their skills, and whatever they know that other groups do not know, they can bring this on table so as to build other organizations. So that's one area that I liked about EAWANET. And they also were able to ask the member organization what areas of need they had. And then they will organize training around those areas so that they can boost their skills and their leadership. So EAWANET was important then. And I believe that members who belong to EAWANET then were empowered greatly. And I think it is out of the benefits that we gained from EAWANET that has made us to see the need of wanting to reorganize ourselves and get it started so that we can again work together and pull our resources and ideas together so that we can empower our communities.
Mm-hmm. Of course, very strong words. I agree very much. And I think EAWANET, and I allow myself said because I was working in the area in Eastern Africa, and I know EAWANET is very special in the landscape as an organization.
And again, we can also add the tourist aspect of it. You know, we are able also to go to other countries. We also benefited by knowing what other countries look like. So, you know, it was all rounded, the organization that provided the necessary information and skills that we needed.
Mm-hmm.
And the trainings were not only centered in Kampala. Some trainings were done in other countries. For example, We had trainings that were also done in Kenya, in Tanzania, and other areas. So we are also able to take these trainings into other countries.
Okay.
And through this.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Continue,
please.
Stella.
Yeah. Thank you, Bishop. I noticed you mentioned two things, keep re-echoing the other, to restart EAWANET and to reorganize ourselves. Would you like to comment on that?
It's not
Because
clear, Stella.
Stella, maybe you
I'm
try again
saying,
without your video.
okay. Yeah, what I'm saying, thank you. What I'm saying that in our conversation, I noticed the recurrent use of restart,
Yeah.
and then reorganizing EAWANET.
Yes.
Yeah, would you like to comment on that? What has prompted the restarting and reorganizing of EAWANET, considering that EAWANET was actually founded in 1996? Thank you.
Okay, I think it's just the idea that people got used to working together, coming together, and in the absence of that, I think there are certain things that people saw that they were missing, which could only be found if they were together in EAWANET. I think it's just the idea that people got used to working together as a family, and they were sharing the information and the project that they had, and this was contributing in a big way to the work that they were doing. And so when EAWANET ceased to exist, this was not possible again to be done. So we felt that in order for us to benefit from one another, it was important that we restart this organization so that those benefits can again be attained by us coming together as a family. So for me, it is that I was missing my friends that were there, the programs that we did, all the things that we did together could not be done. And the skills were scattered. So the only way that we can benefit from these skills is to bring ourselves together again and broaden our ideas and benefit from one another's experience. That's how I look at it and how I looked at it. And I supported the idea that let us again come better things. We do not know everything, but when we come together, we share those things that we do not know. And then we get more knowledgeable.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. I know that you also went through a rebranding process in EAWANET over the time. Would you share with us a bit about this process you went through?
We asked people for their views, and we went through a process that we were collecting information from former members, how they wanted it to be done, how they wanted it to work. The question teller has asked me about what unique thing will we get out of it. So we brought everybody on board, they gave their ideas, and out of those ideas, we saw that there was more good in restarting the organization than us staying apart. So the rebranding it came out of our desire to come back together and work as a team, as I said before. So the rebranding of this organization was because of what we contributed, and I think we are still redoing it. The rebranding is still going on.
And have you been sorry, Stella, please.
Sorry, and maybe just to add to what Bishop is saying is, in terms of the rebranding Bishop is referring to is, I will still use the words of reactivating and reorganizing the former brand of EAWANET, that brand of 1996, those principles and values that founded EAWANET. That is the brand we're talking about. Sorry?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, so the rebranding we're talking about is in the perspective of reactivating and reorganizing ourselves as that former brand, the former EAWANET, that the foundation, based on those historical foundations, the principles and values that form this EAWANET, and that is the Eastern Africa Workers Association Network. Yeah, thank you.
And I think that Bishop Enoch also used a lot the collaboration and how much you integrate the community in the decision-making processes. And I think it's very, very important and as I say, very special also in the landscape to have this organization that really take what it says and put it into action and strongly collaborating with its members. I would like to ask you, Bishop Enoch, how does it make you feel as a person? How does it make you feel to be involved in this organization and to see how it changed over the years, and how do you see it unfold in the coming years?
Well, I feel the work we did in the past has not gone to waste because we had really put a lot of energies there. And, you know, people sacrifice a lot. You know, somebody traveling from Tanzania all the way to Uganda, likewise, people who came from all around the region. I think they invested a lot of their time and money there. And I just felt that in the absence of EAWANET, all what we did in the past was a waste. We had wasted the time. And I think it is out of appreciating what we did in the past that worked like a force behind the people to want to restart and rebrand this organization. Now for me, with the renewing, reestablishing of this organization, makes me feel fulfilled because that the work we did not go to waste. And it can be restarted, rebranded, improved, re-envisioned, and in the end, it will help our people. So I just feel happy that our work did not go to waste. In the case that this EAWANET will be reactivated and operate as it used to before. So that's my feeling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I have one final question that I would like to refer to you, and maybe Stella, if you'd like to add anything after, before we conclude. I would really like to hear from you, Bishop Enoch, because I know that you usually are in influential positions as a chair member in EAWANET and as a bishop, and I'm sure that you also are very appreciated and respected in the community in other circles. And you have the ability and the privilege of giving good word when it's needed. And especially today, coming to the end of 2020, with all that going on in the world and in Eastern African region, what can you say to our viewers? You know, our viewers are usually people who come from the social sector, different organizations, people that want to see how life getting better in the coming years. What can you tell us about what's going to happen, and how can you strengthen the people that are watching this?
I think we, as community leaders, we needed to spend some time and understand what are the needs of our communities. And once we understand, let us try to find the solutions for those communities together with the people. Let us allow community participation in whatever we do. When we do that, the people helps the process to move on, so that when I'm not there tomorrow, this process will still go on. And let us also think about peace. Let us be peaceful. Let us love one another. Let us be genuine. Let us be honest. And let us just work hard. All this will be anchored in our hard work towards what we want to achieve. Let us focus on the end product of what we want to do. So the beginning should define the end of what you want to do. So I want to wish everybody well as they think about what we have discussed here, but let us aim at our communities succeeding, becoming more vibrant, and being productive. Let us be creative to produce as young people. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Stella, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, thank you. Maybe to just add on to what Bishop has said is just to give a little background, and like we earlier mentioned, EAWANET was started in 1996, and a lot went on, but somehow the activities froze, especially from around 2014, 2015, around there, until last year, in terms of at institutional level. So a lot of work was made majorly in terms of realizing impact of EAWANET in the different areas, depending on what seeds had been sown. So you will notice, like from the series we've been doing, we are showcasing how we utilize that time where activities were not as vibrant as before, maybe before 2015 or 2014. So it's an honor. It's amazing how after that period of time of like a lapse of 10 years, the members or the participants and members of the former EAWANET, that brand that we believe in, the Eastern Africa Work Camp Association Network, comes back and is showcasing what each one has been doing in the field over time. So it's great to have the chairperson, the former chairperson, still on board, like Bishop Eneko Okonji, and still witnessing their efforts that have been realized.
Stella? Stella, we lost you for a minute. It's okay. I want to conclude and just mention again how privileged I am for collaborating with EAWANET. I think EAWANET is doing a great thing by putting all the organizations together and creating those bonds. And I think that I was very honored to get to know Stella and to get to know this network, and I'm so privileged to work with you and to have those talks, and hopefully to come also and give some workshops in the coming future. I want to thank you, Bishop Enoch, very much for your time and for your kind words and for your wisdom. And I hope we meet again. And of course, we wish everybody health and prosperity. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. God bless.
God bless.